What's going on, YouTubes? It's the Spectrum here, playing some Domination on the map Resistance. My clan setup is the Type-95 with the red dot attachment. I haven't got a gun proficiency for it yet, or at least not when I recorded this gameplay. I am using the perks Slide Hand Pro, Quick Draw Pro, and regular Steady Aim, mainly because I haven't unlocked Steady Aim Pro yet. What I wanted to talk about this video was some general Domination tips, and I'm going to talk about the Type-95 since I have been testing it. So, the 95 is a very solid assault rifle. It's a 3-burst weapon, much like the FAMAS from Modern Warfare 2, much like the M16. Except this is a lot like the scenario in Modern Warfare 2. Because in Modern Warfare 1, the M16 was just extremely overpowered. They tried to make it a little bit worse and then decided to introduce the FAMAS, which is exactly the same, just looks a bit different. And I mean, look at this, look at the work it puts in. That was in fact a quad, right there. Just gonna put that out there, was in fact a quad. And unfortunately this guy gets me. I think personally, instead of running attachments to get rapid fire on this as well, I'd personally run focus so that you don't get as much gun flinch. It'll be much better for you, in my professional opinion. Anyway, in this case for Modern Warfare 3, they Infinity Ward took a huge dump on the M16. They just didn't want that gun being overpowered again. It was so bad. But it just feels like that again. They've tried to make the M16 a lot worse, and yet they've just replaced it with something even better. So, not quite sure what they intended to do there. Perks I do use with it, at the moment I'm using Sleight of Hand, Quick Draw, Steady Aim. Personally, I think that I would rather use something like Scavenger, Quick Draw, and then Dead Silence. Reason being is this class shouldn't be that mobile. It's a 3-burst gun, it's not designed to be a rush weapon. It is a good weapon and it can rush, especially on these narrow maps. But I prefer it more of a pick-off weapon like I'm doing here, using the cars for cover. In that extent, Scavenger is much better. I always like Scavenger, it just always seems to clash with good perks. And you just have a ton of ammo, so you don't have to run out and grab up a different weapon. Quick Draw, you know, for the same reason, you know, it's just Quick Draw, that's what we want. Oh, and here, this is quite funny, I was trying to work out why I was suddenly using my recon when I was trying to use my advanced UAV, and I've only just worked out that you can actually choose which order you use your kill streaks in. I felt like quite a nub, but that was a good moment for me. I enjoyed that quite a lot. As you can see, we just got the advanced UAV up. Just to mention, with the streaks, this is my HAM XP class. So basically, it's very easy to get a lot of XP in Modern Warfare 3. So you use the recon drone, which gets you like 50 points per tag, and then an extra 10 if that guy dies. So you know that's ridiculous, especially if you're just hovering over their spawn. The advanced UAV is just really good. And the escort gunner, which unfortunately gets shot down in this game, is just it's insane. It's a chopper gunner along with an emergency airdrop. It's ridiculous. But moving on, I'd rather use Dead Silence with a class like this because I like to hear people coming, and then when they are on their way, I can easily get a jump on them, which is something this rifle will need for quite some time. I think at the moment though, the 95 has. It has a bit of, shall we say, AK-74U syndrome. It's that gun that has appeared at the beginning of the game that everyone's like, yeah, this is really good, and there's always going to be that one guy who's not very good at the game who, wants to complain about it non-stop. And, then basically wind everyone using the 95. And eventually it's going to spread, there'll be people going, oh, using the Type-95, so lame. And get this guy on his recon drone. Puts me up to my escort airdrop, which unfortunately gets shot down by a SAM turret this game, which was unfortunate, but if it gone off, it would have been worth it. If anyone knows, if the escort gunner and the Osprey drop care packages for their own kill streaks, so like the Osprey will only drop assault packages and the escort will only drop support, if you know if that is the difference, please let me know, because that is something I'd like to know, because I haven't actually called too many in yet. I think I called 2 in and this one got shot down, so god damn it. Anyway, I just think the Type-95 is going to end up being that gun at the beginning of the game where no one wants to see it. Everyone's like, no, this gun's so lame, you know, it's that noob gun, which I don't think it'll be called a noob gun. I just think people won't want to see it. And then eventually people just won't care later on in the game. Yeah, it won't be that, it won't matter to them. So, as for tips of Domination, if you are new to the COD series, basically Domination is the kind of standard objective game type. There are 3 flags on the map that you have to capture, and for each flag you have, you get points. So the more flags you have, the more points you get. Now, whenever I see someone start off on Call of Duty, they either don't go for the flags at all, or they go for all 3. What you really want to do is cap 2 flags in Domination. What you want to have it so that your enemies have an affinity to a flag. They will spawn near a certain flag, whichever one they've caught. So for example, they are now spawning near the A spawn, which you can see on the screen right now. It's a lot easier to see since I've got a recon drone up in the air, but you know, that's just the example. You don't want to cap all 3 flags. 2 is enough to get game. If you cap all 3 flags, you're going to win the game faster, but it's going to be harder to control where your opponent spawns. And that's actually something interesting I've noticed about these maps. In the past Call of Duties, there was always 2 different kinds of map design. On the one hand, you had the linear maps, which was sort of like the A, B, and C flag were all in a line, or you have this kind of map, where it's triangular. But all the maps in Modern Warfare 3 seem to have triangular patterns. It's very weird. I think they've done that so that, because B is always in the middle, you only spawn at A or C. B always had like problems in past Call of Duties. It was always that flag that people hated to try and cap. It was always that flag that, you know, got naded the crap out of and no one could ever cap, and it had some really bad map design. And I think they've just done that to make it so that all 3 flags are actually equal. I mean, I was in a game not too long ago where we actually spawned at the B flag, and I don't mean just near it, I mean next to it. So yeah, I just think I think Infinity would have done a better job there. So it's still easy to spawn trap. You just grab 2 flags and then post up. It sounds really boring, but when you get kill streaks from it, you'll see what I mean. However, speaking of kill streaks, I don't think I'm going to be using support. And not support, assault at all. I'm going to be using support a lot, just all the time, apart from in kill confirm, where I'll be using well, support. You know, depending on how many players I have, the majority of the time you're going to want to play with specialist in kill confirm, because you will get a ton of XP for it. But support is just so much easier to do. With support, there's no fear of death. The only reason death matters now is that you're losing gunfights and you're not getting points for your streaks. But dying in a game like this, where I was just, you know, winning gunfights and capping flags, it didn't matter to me. And I was having so much more fun, especially with the recon drone. Now that little thing is awesome. As you can see here, actually, Nave's using his support streaks. He's got the Juggernaut suit on, and I'm just basically following around, giving him cover fire. So it works out for both of us. He's the shield and I'm the sword, which is awesome. I just pick this guy off. That's why I think focus would be a much better proficiency for this gun, in my opinion. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So watch this. I was just spraying and yep, picked up my recon drone. I love the recon drone, by the way. You know, the minute I saw it in the list for the kill streaks, I was like, I remember that from the parrot drone from Homefront. And that thing was so awesome. Picked up my advanced UAV as well. I think I get another escort gunner, but I get it like at the end of the game. Let's see, the simple one burst with the Type-95. I keep going to call it the Type-98. I have no idea why. Tried to call it my recon drone, but someone else has called theirs in, which is unfortunate. But now I feel like KD is irrelevant, and it's made the game so much more fun for me. I actually really like this game. When I first started playing it, you know, I couldn't search a game properly, the hit detection was really weird, the guns were very odd handling. I wasn't in the mood for it. You know, it didn't take me as like, yeah, this is a brand new Call of Duty, we're finally away from Black Ops, all that. it didn't really hit me like that, especially since the last thing I played before it was Modern Warfare 2 single player. So, you know, it didn't really hit me as that, look, guns finally don't have a ton of recoil and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But now I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, and I think I'll just throw out my escort in here in a minute. And really at the moment I'm just going for win-loss. I'm not even bothered about KD at the moment, because it just doesn't seem to be that important. It just doesn't, so... I think I just get it just as the game ends, yeah. Get plus 600 and that's the game. So, like and favourite if you want to see more games like this, where I talk about weapons and tips. I hope next time to go in a bit more detail about things like Domination, but they are very, very obvious. And go into a bit more detail about maps. Didn't really cover that this time, but thanks for watching, guys, and peace. So we destroy this team in terms of the score at the end.